Welcome back to the production here, dude. Today we are continuing Chemically Bonded, so I just decided after I played the first part, I would continue anyway. So, anyway, a little recap. Basically, we ran into this chick named Kiyoko, who I believe is the leader of the science club. Like, that's what it is leading me to believe, because she's technically, well, she was the only member until we joined. And then we also ran into Miss Naomi Sato, who is the popular chick, and it seems that she has a problem with Kiyoko, and that is what we're going to find out about, hopefully, in this part. So there you go, the little recap. Now let's go. The sound of small conversation made between the few students opting to remain in class greets me as I arrive through the doors. Peering across the room, my eyes move, looking around to see if I can catch a glimpse of Kiyoko. To no avail, though. She doesn't seem to be here. It'd be safe to say she's gone somewhere else for lunch. Sense of various food still lingers in the air as people begin to pack up to start afternoon lessons. Time is now ticking away towards the end of lunch.
Hey!
For the second time today, a hand grips my shoulder unexpectedly. This one, however, daintier and late, comes for someone with the courtesy to speak up before spinning me around.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, hey, what up, Kyoko? It's Jeongin.
Hey! I was looking for you everywhere.
And why's that?
I wanted to make sure you were coming to the club after school.
I expected as much. Of course I am. I did say I would. You know Jeongin, he never breaks promises. Kyoko pouts, almost displeased at my answer despite telling her what she wanted to hear.
How can you claim something without empirical evidence?
Imperial what?
Facts!
As if to emphasize her point, her hands raised heartfully to her chest as she faces me with a smile. It's almost as if she's enthralled by the very concept of logic. I span my head across the room to notice that her overabundant enthusiasm has caught the attention from many besides myself. Kyoko doesn't talk much to the rest of the class, so seeing her this gleeful must be an oddity to them in itself. Particularly since she's acting this way towards me. Until yesterday, I was virtually a stranger to her. The rumors didn't help her case either. Meeting her myself was a shock, but getting to know her even after a day has broken all the thoughts I'd once held.
I guess you did say you'd go.
She has no parallels to a person I'd call bad. That's right, class is starting anyway. So it's strange to think that someone like Naomi would have such an issue with her. But we find out what it is, though. That's what I want to find out in this part, dudes. The clock's hands creep steadily towards the hour, almost as if in competition with our teacher's monotonous lecturing. It's safe to say I'm not the only one rooting for the clock to win. Oh, sensei. The sensei has been added to the encyclopedia. Sorry, I wanted to do a dramatic voice. On cue, the bell chimes away, cutting off Mr. Kimura's sentence.
Class, I expect you all to catch up before next week.
Ooh, that voice.
You know you'll have a new teacher soon. Don't expect him to cover what I've missed.
We are lucky. He won't be as boring to listen to. Copying up within a week, though, is a bit of a stretch. Maybe I can try copying the answers from Kiyoko if she'd even let me. The class follows swiftly with the process of packing bags and rising from seats. Everyone in a rush to leave, whether that's for home or club activities. For me, it's now the latter. From across the room, Kiyoko looks back with a twinkle in her eyes as she steadily lifts her small figure from her seat. Does she think I'm about to make a run for it? She's like, hey, where do you think you're going? And then she pushes me back in. Anyway, trying it out would be pretty funny, but I don't want to hurt her feelings. Joining did mean a lot to her after all. Following suit with the rest of the class, I too now rise from my desk, heading to join Kiyoko as she idles around hers, waiting for me to pass by.
Are you excited?
For what? I know exactly what, I just wanted to tease her. Yo.
For the club, silly.
Her emotions are made apparent through her actions, vividly enough. She's excited herself. So together we stand before the entrance of the science lab, the door painted in a shade of off-white. Clicks as Kyoko slides it open to take the first step inside.
Welcome to the club.
You've already said that. Yeah, I mean, she can say it again if she wants.
I just wanted to say it again.
Kyoko mocks me with a frown as she stands at the door, ushering me in. Aren't you supposed to have 5 members for a club anyway? As far as I'm aware, we only have 2.
I'm working on that. Who cares? It's not like they'll say anything.
Yeah, let's hope not. I don't know who they is, but given Kyoko's reputation, even with the staff, she might actually be right. Beckoned by Kyoko, the science lab greets me as I now join her inside. Now that I'm here, perhaps I'll have the chance to talk to her about Naomi. It's something that's been bugging me. Rushing into that isn't my priority. I'll leave Kyoko to get along with science. She's already started to fish equipment out from nearby cupboards, neatly placing them on the workbench before her.
Bunsen burner, check. Tripod and gauze, check. Hydrochloric acid, check.
Hydrochloric acid? Just what sort of experiment are we actually doing here? What the hell?
The
pH.
experiment we're doing. And it's fine. It only has a pH of like 3 anyway.
Yeah, that should be fine, I think. I guess as long as you don't even drink that. I don't even know what a pH is. She continues setting up our experiment, intently studying each item she pulls from the cupboards and drawers. I guess she's really into this. Her lab coat flaps around as she quickly passes to and from areas around the room to fetch the bits and bobs she needs. I can't even remember when she put it on. It does suit her though. The now evening sunlight shines through the room, causing the strands of Kyoko's hair to glisten as I continue watching her. Despite not doing much, I'm actually finding this kind of fun. What? What did you do? Kyoko's cry from across the room startled me, given that she's been almost silent for the last few minutes.
I'm out of fennel.
Who? Oh. You don't need to go into it. Honestly, I wouldn't have a clue what it was even if she did say it.
I'll have to get some more tomorrow. But we can't do the experiment without it.
Truly, that's a shame. No longer having a chance to see the smartest girl in the school working here before me. Even I can find this stuff interesting if given the opportunity to get into it. Well, what now? I don't feel like going home yet, and from the look on her face, neither does she. Cutting short our first real club meeting would just make her feel sad. That in turn wouldn't make me feel any better.
I guess we can just talk.
Yeah, sure, sounds good. She doesn't seem to know what to do then. Talking with her wouldn't be a bad idea though. Ever since earlier, even yesterday to an extent, the issue of Naomi has been bugging me. The entire topic might not be something she'd want to go into, but standing by and ignoring the issue isn't the best option either. It hurt me to see her upset. Oh, ask about science or talk about Naomi. Well, I guess since she was interested in science, why don't we do that first, and then we'll see if maybe after we can talk about this chick. Alright, let's talk about science first. Asking about Naomi so casually doesn't seem like it'd be the best thing to do. If Kyoko wanted me to know, she'd tell me, right? I hope that would be the case, but even so, I wouldn't want to create such an awkward situation in our first club meeting. Delving into such a topic doesn't seem like the right thing to do. I've only known her for about a day. So, why do you like science? I ask the first thing that comes to mind. It's not much of a creative question, but Kyoko cheerfully answers.
Because it's fun. Science isn't all about doing calculations and learning basic stuff. They don't let us do the fun stuff in class.
Hey, she's got a point, you know? If what we do in class is her definition of basic, I'd love to know what she considers hard. Honestly, same. Struggling with the subject myself, hearing that just makes me realize the differences between our intellects. It's clear that she's not someone to be messed with. On the other hand, I only find experiments fun because we get to mess around with the equipment. I guess I can relate, or maybe not. I'm only really here because I felt sorry for her. I can't say I have any actual interest in the theories behind what we do in class. Still, I can't say that I'm bored.
There's something I want to talk about.
What is it? Ooh, are you gonna tell me your favorite element?
No, it's not that.
Peering in her eyes, sadness stares back towards me. I guess now is not the time for jokes.
Please, forget about yesterday with Naomi.
Wait, so she knows? Wait. Is she referring to, like, when both of us just ran into each other, or is she referring to the part where she almost choked me out in frustration? Which one?
Her. He's always been like that.
Kyoko remains still, eyes directed downward towards her shoes, delving into the topic and what I can only assume is an attempt to resolve the issues which arose yesterday. She probably didn't want me to ask myself. Yeah, alright. The only word to slip out of my mouth. Admittedly, I don't think I'd hope to address the sense of awkwardness now filling the room. However, it is now apparent that Naomi is taking actions to upset Kiyoko. I'd hate to imagine what Kiyoko is feeling. The thought of someone doing that to her makes me sick. I guess now is a good time to change the topic. Kiyoko doesn't seem too happy talking about Naomi. It's understandable why.
Anyways, it's getting late. I'd rather not bore you. We can't do anything until tomorrow.
Kyoko upholds her sorrowful expression as she makes note of the amber sky visible through the windows. Whether that's due to having to cut the club short or due to our conversation, it's unclear. It's okay, I'm looking forward to, more science. Should just say that.
Determining the concentration of calcium carbonate in limestone?
Yeah, sure. That's what you were doing? We both stroll out of the lab together. She walks swiftly to my side, now almost happy as when we first arrived. Wait, aren't you gonna put the equipment back?
Oh, that? They won't care if I leave it there for tomorrow.
Are you sure about that? Alright, yeah, I'll trust her on that. I guess. Greeted by the late afternoon skies above, just as yesterday, we now stand before the school gates, ready to depart. Spending time with her has been certainly fun. I'd really consider her a friend. Before you ask, I will come tomorrow, I promise.
How did you know?
Because, like me, she enjoys spending time with someone after school. Could have been anyone, but I'm happy I made the decision to join her. Because science is fun, right?
Right.
Kyoko leaves me with a friendly wave as we bid each other farewell. The two of us now setting off home in this warm spring evening. It's that friendly wave I want to be able to see more often. The emotion of happiness. I don't want Naomi to bother her. I don't want her to be unhappy, to feel that way anymore. Okay, another act completed, it looks like. Likewise, we're going to do another one. So I like to do at least, like, I guess 2 acts in, like, one part, if that makes sense to you guys. Just so there's, like, enough to go off of, I guess. The creaking sound of my bedroom door makes its way to my ears as I take a step inside my room. My feet tap against the hardwood floor as I make my way inside towards my chair. Besides my own movement and sounds, the house is silent, save for the sounds of traffic and the wider world outside my window. I had enough time yesterday on cleaning duty, which is why I'm grateful to Kiyoko for deciding to help me out in the end. Even if I had to join the science club in the process, it's not as if I mind, though. It's certain to say that I'm finding the club enjoyable, or rather, being around Kiyoko herself is what's fun. I can't call science a selling point. Her quirky nature is almost captivating, given that she's never really opened herself up to me in class. It's funny to think that I once thought of her as a quiet, reserved girl. She seems to get excited about almost everything, though I know that there's more to her than meets the eye. A reluctance to delve into the topic of Naomi is more than concerning, even if she did tell me not to go into it. Getting choked earlier today wasn't a pleasant experience. Yep. I'm no masochist, but I guess there'd be plenty of guys wanting to be in my shoes. Oh my god, yeah, that choke scene. I was like, damn, I better be a witness if I die. Because she will pay. However, it's clear that something is going on between the two of them. And if what I've seen is to believe, then I can't help but think that there's a real possibility of Naomi bullying Kiyoko. Picking up my phone, I tilted it towards me to read a notification lit across the screen. One new message from a familiar name at that. Kiyoko. It's reasonable to think that she tried texting me eventually. We did exchange numbers, so I shouldn't be that surprised. Still, I'm not sure what she'd want at this time of day, but there's no sense in not responding to her. Firming my grasp around it, I bring the phone closer towards my eyes to read the message on the screen. Oh, here you go. Hey, you're coming to the club tomorrow, right? Please respond. Alright. As opposed to abbreviations or slang, Kyoko's message is typed neatly before me. She didn't seem like the type of person to send, "You're coming to the club tomorrow, right?" So it's not too surprising. What's even less surprising is the message itself. That is her eagerness to check whether or not I'd be attending the club or not. Despite being a member, I guess she still doesn't have the confidence to believe that someone has actually joined her club. That alongside the amount of time she presumably spent alone there. In terms of club activities, we didn't do much today, besides touching on a sensitive issue for her. Perhaps she's worried I might have found it boring. If so, I should probably respond. It's not as if I don't enjoy talking to her too. Oh, click on a message to choose a response. Ooh. So of course I'm going over. How much do you want me to go again? Yeah, If you choose that second one, you're like trying to tease her. Like, huh, so how much are you going to, or how much would you like me to come?
That's what he said.
So yeah, I'm gonna go. Come on, she's our friend. I don't know if she expects me to tell her that I won't go one of these days. I might not do anything in the club, but I can safely say I've enjoyed it so far. The thought of turning my back on Kiyoko has never gone through my head, particularly after the way she almost begged me to join the club. Yeah, of course I'm going. I told you earlier, didn't I? Despite being intelligent, she makes it seem as if she has memory problems. Or more likely, the fact that someone had actually joined has kept her excited. She did spend so much time as a soul member, so it's granted that she's giddy about having a clubmate. I know. I was just checking. Angry emoji. I don't know whether I've upset her, but she doesn't send any further messages.
Hey!
Oh, now she's calling. Reaching out to place my phone back to my desk, however, the sudden ring startles me. Is she actually calling me? Putting the phone against my ear, it soon becomes apparent that Kiyoko isn't exactly pleased about our conversation.
Hey!
Heh?
Of course. I'd have to check if you're coming. You're in the club, aren't you?
Perhaps.
It's my responsibility as club captain.
Okay, you know what? I've done something risky. I've not saved in a while. Let me do that. Okay. I don't think any club captains regularly text their members to check if they're coming. Especially if it's just me and her. Of course I'm going. You don't need to ask.
Well, I wanted to. I found some Morphino fouling indicator too. So we can finally do that experiment.
Let's go! Sorry. Fino, what? I think she did mention something about it today. Do you just have that stuff laying around your house?
As if you don't.
Wait, hold up. I don't think any normal high school student would have whatever that is around their house. Well, at least she's happy about it. I like that. She's like, so you seriously don't have this kind of stuff laying around your house? The audacity. I love that. Anyway, to be honest, I was looking forward to seeing her at work. The look of concentration in her eyes when I first walked in on her is fascinating. The look of ambition. It's something I admire. As someone with no real ambitions, seeing her eyes sparkle as she experiments intrigues me.
Anyway, I need to go. Just promise you'll come.
I promise. I feel as if I'll be getting used to saying those words to her.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Does that make Naomi the Strangler? Alright. I don't know if these are completed acts or not. I think this one wasn't. Or something. Or it's just a little timetable. I think it was just a timetable. Coco is still too more than thrilled about having me go. Despite asking yesterday, I wasn't surprised to find her more than keen to stop me before lunch to give a quick reminder. Maybe after today she'll ease up on it. We didn't actually do any real club activities. That and I've only been there twice, counting our introduction. However, besides enjoying my time with Kiyoko, I'm starting to feel as if I'm attending for another reason. Naomi Sato. No matter how much I might like her, or how well liked she is around the school, I still find it odd that anyone would have an issue with Kiyoko. Being the school's idol just makes the scenario even more peculiar. Kiyoko doesn't want me to get into it, but I can't find myself turning back on her. It's strange.
Hey, Natsumi, what class is next?
Chitose.
We have chemistry, Chitose. How could you forget? You hate it, don't you?
I got these random names pop up.
Don't remind me.
Overhearing a conversation behind me, it seems as if I'm in for an interesting hour. Kyoko's probably ecstatic at the thought.
Psych!
That is, I think so. However, peering towards her tells me a different story. As she neatly packs away her bag to join a class and a trip to the lab, her expression remains pretty stoic, at least for someone as expressive as her. Thinking back, Yoko did leave her experiment set up yesterday. I wonder if she'll have to set it up again now that we'll be using the lab. I'll just have to ask her. I'd be pretty pissed if I had to set it up again because of a teacher dismantling it. My legs ache as if my legs ache as I lift myself from my chair. I should probably make my way out too, now that everyone else is just about ready to leave. Walking out into the corridor, I'm welcomed by the sight of Kyoko apparently waiting for me to leave the class.
Come on, we're in the lab. We can't just stay behind once it's finished. Don't you want to do the experiment?
Hell yeah. Oh, how are we supposed to do it if we have a class first? Won't the teacher just take down what she did yesterday?
It'll be fine. They let me do what I want for some reason.
I guess because if they don't, they might think her performance on tests will drop. She's probably the one putting the school on the academic map.
Wow!
Single-handedly.
Now, let's go.
Kyoko turns and walks ahead, trailing behind the rest of the class, making their way to the science lab. I swiftly follow behind, watching as her arms sway to and fro as she poodles her way beside me. Us now heading to class together. We enter the labs and instinctively I attempt to make my way to the back of the class, albeit stopped by Kyoko. Let me guess, she will say, "Hey, let's sit in the front, yo!"
Hey!
Kyoko pulls against my sleeve, almost dragging me to the chair right beside her at the front of the class. Called it. Her actions don't go unheeded, as a few glances trance their way towards us. Again, given Kyoko's status around here, I'd be just as surprised if she suddenly yanked a classmate to sit with her. Luckily enough, it just had to be me.
I don't like science.
What? Wait, then why'd you create the science club? What is this? Yo. Unexpectedly, she bellows out to me.
No, not science. Science, the class.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, wait a damn minute. You've been lying to me this whole time?
Why would I like it when all they teach is kid stuff? Do I look like a kid to you?
Do you want me to answer that? I mean, she is considerably shorter than me. And her face is pretty childlike. Goddamn. And that's... Wait, but that's without considering her, well... No, you don't. I shouldn't go into it. However, apathy for the subject isn't too surprising, thinking about it. As the school's most intelligent student, I guess that being stuck behind with everyone else isn't fun. If she feels this way about high school chemistry, maybe she feels the same with other subjects. Maybe the science club is the only place where she can enjoy herself. That definitely seems like a plausible theory there. The lesson slowly continues, with Kyoko not sparing time to give her opinion on the class.
Why are we using cheap plastic paint pots? These should have volumetric ones.
Oh man, next question. Maybe the school's on a budget.
Why are we using paper pH indicators? It's not even accurate.
Yeah, she's like a straight science snob, or snob. She's like, they're using this kind of stuff when we should be using this. Peasants. We're using peasant stuff. So that's the life thing. Well, don't ask me. Am I supposed to know I'm poor too?
Why can't we use the Bunsen burners? What's the point of buying them if we can't even use them?
Okay, that I can kind of agree with. She does everything gets his class teams. Soon enough, however, Kyoko's dreams come true as the class finishes with us writing down our results for the experiment that we did together. Still, despite not enjoying it, Kyoko's work is as detailed and as neat as I'd imagine. If she's this into something she hates, then the club activities today should be interesting. Idling around, the two of us remain at the front of the class, as people around us filter out towards and through the door. Quickly, we find ourselves alone again in what is now the science club.
I'm glad that's over.
But I thought you liked science.
But that's basic stuff. It's like asking if you like cake and only giving a spoonful. And it's not even chocolate or strawberry. It's just plain cake. How could anyone call that good?
So it's just bread with sugar on it, I got you. I'm not sure I can entirely relate with their analogy, but I can see how she'd find it frustrating. It's weird to think that I could probably ask her something and she'd give me the presumably correct answer. When did the Heian period start?
794.
Anyway, we should probably get started with this experiment. It's a phrase I didn't think I'd find myself saying, but the reaction on Kyoko's face is more than enough to prove it was the right thing.
Right.
Kyoko trots across the room to retrieve a delicate construction set assigned by our teacher. Let's probably help her out. It looks a bit too big for her to carry by herself. But let me give you a hand. Take hold of the clam stand which had previously found itself balanced upon a flask tucked into Kyoko's stomach. She's probably used to haphazardly handling the equipment, but I don't want to take the risk of any accident.
Thank you.
Carrying a mess of apparatus to a nearby desk. I leave Kyoko to finish arranging the setup as I stand back in awe. It's this sort of ambition I've been looking forward to seeing. How she delicately places each test tube in an appropriate rack, tracing each inch of the desk with her eyes to ensure everything is right. It's fascinating to think someone could be so engrossed in this, but she is.
There. Done.
So, what now?
Now's when the fun starts. We can finish from where we left off.
Reaching into her pocket, Kyoko pulls out a small unmarked glass bottle, smiling at her own reflection as the sun beats it. Are you sure that's safe? You aren't wearing any goggles either. I might not be a scientist, but I do have a sense of safety. I gotta put on my hazmat suit, bro. Give me a sec. Without any heat, Kyoko reaches her arm out towards the setup before her.
Don't worry, it will be fine. No, where were we?
Oh. In an instant, the sound of breaking glass reaches my ears, shortly followed by a puff of smoke filling the space around me. There is an explosion. My body jolts back away from the scene before I realize Kyoko's still standing there. Are you alright? Kyoko emerges from the cloud, wafting around the smoke with her arms.
I'm fine. That wasn't supposed to happen.
What was supposed to happen? You're not hurt, are you? The smoke clears, giving more definition to the expression of woe coating the face before me.
No, but look.
As I follow her gaze downward, a pink stain stands out against the blue and white of her attire. Whatever shadow must have splashed her.
I can't go home like this.
She looks like she's ready to burst into tears. You don't have a spare change of clothes, do you? We didn't have gym class today, so I guess she's stuck as she is. Kyoko doesn't respond, causing me to look towards her, now tucking away into her school bag. Don't tell me.
Ta-da! You thought I wasn't prepared, didn't you?
Why you skin me like this, bruh? Holding up a pink shirt before me, complete with a little image of an atom drawn on top. Kyoko smiles as she nods towards the door.
I need to get changed.
Oh, right, sorry. Oh, later. Alright, taking my cue, I turn around and head out towards the corridor, leaving Kyoko to change out of her school clothes. It's still kind of odd that she had casual clothes laying around in her bag. To be fair, I'm pretty sure this may have happened more than once, where she's like, well, crap, I stained my clothes, I gotta change them. I don't know, that's just what I think at least, like, this has definitely happened more than once for her to know. First it was a soda, and now this. She sure is full of surprises. What's she gonna pull out of her backpack next, the car? Besides the ambient sound of club activities, the corridor is silent enough for me to hear Kyoko moving around inside. Stray dust dances around in the air as I wait for her to call me inside. Oh, rather than a call, a panicked yelp makes its way out from the inside. Swiftly, my body turns around and pushes the door on instinct. Hey, what happened? Are you okay? Open up! As my vision adjusts to the light, Kyoko stands embraced by the evening sun. And nothing but her undergarments, because I don't want to say those two words out loud. Alright, her figure is surprisingly athletic, now that I can see it. She must train a lot outside of school, when she isn't doing science, that is. Her skin, too, free from blemishes, has a mild shine as the light sweat glistens from the sun behind her. As for her choice of fashion, small buboes stand out upon her rather plain white undergarments. Wait, why am I just standing here staring? I know, right? I don't know what to do though. Kyoko too remains frozen, still clutching her hands to her hair with a bewildered look. One which soon changes to a pang of embarrassment. Now that she realizes what I'm seeing.
What are you?
Jeongin, get out of there. Her face now reddened is just one of many sights laid out before me. Sorry, I'm out of here. I guess she's okay after all, but I probably won't be after she's finished changing. What are the odds of that?
Yeah, you can come back in.
Embarrassment still spilling from her voice, Kyoko calls out from inside the lab. Maybe it'll be best if I explain myself. Now adorned in casual clothing, Kyoko faced me with the same sense of embarrassment coating her face. Cheeks still rosy, as she averts her gaze away from mine. Yeah, sorry about that. Oop. Okay. I heard you screaming, I thought you hurt yourself.
It's okay. Thanks for the concern. It's my fault for not being careful. I almost fell over.
Well, thankfully everything is okay. At least she is. The room is still a mess. Well, you know, as expected. Shards of broken glass lay the floor, coated in whatever chemical was originally inside. Kyoko's eyes quickly follow mine downward as we both stay still, staring at the scene. Looks like we'll be cleaning things together once again.
It was my fault. I'll clean it. You should go home.
Are you sure? I'd be happy to help. Come on, we're in this together. Kyoko, reverting her gaze towards me, shakes her head and sighs softly. She must feel bad about messing up her experiment. Picking up my bag, I leave her behind as I head towards the door. Wait, no! Oh wait, however, before leaving, there's one last thing I need to address. I will be coming tomorrow.
Oh. Right.
Maybe the joke has lost its effect, but Kyoko seems to trust me enough now that she no longer needs to ask. Yeah. For us, the science club has become routine. Even after a short amount of time, I'm enjoying it enough to stay here. Kyoko too seems to be enjoying it herself, and that in itself makes me happy. Departing with a wave, I make my way through the corridor set on my journey home. The sounds of club activity still strongly ambient through the grounds provide subtle distractions as my feet meet the ground, casting shadows in the evening sunlight. I can't help but smile. So, when are we seeing Naomi? I must confront her. We still need to do that, come on. We're in the holy ding-dongs is Naomi. A slight breeze meets my face as I idle beneath the looming evening sky, rustling my hair as I begin strolling across the school grounds. The scene before me is picturesque, I think that's how you say that actually. The sight filled by the mild, usually unnoticed jitters of the world. Leaves swaying in the wind, cars passing by on the road ahead, and a lone girl lingering by the school gates. She stands there ever so oblivious to the world around her. Perhaps her heart races as she waits for the one she loves. Maybe she's just waiting for a few of her friends. Club members wait to leave. Anyone who isn't in a club would have to wait around for them to finish. However, truth be told, I know exactly who this girl is. I can't help admit that I've been waiting to see her here too. No, she's not waiting around for the love of her life. She isn't waiting for friends either. This girl heading towards me with a sharp glare is a person I'm quite familiar with from the get-go. Can you guys guess who it is?
Sup, bitch.
Ding, ding, ding. Naomi Sato. Alright, finally we confront her. Feigning ignorance, albeit in a rather noticeable way, I turn my head back to ensure she's not walking towards someone behind me. With an empty yard staring back to me, I know it's not the case.
I was waiting for you, idiots.
Of course, I have a Mr. Rude and condensing voice. What do you want?
I thought I told you to stay away from Kiyoko. Are all guys really this dumb?
Wait a damn it. Luckily for me, she's keen on following up with her threat from before. That and insulting me all the while. Wouldn't expect anything less. Despite it, both of us have the same person on our mind, Kiyoko. However aberrant she thinks I am, maybe I could talk some sense into her. To think that she's this fussed over Kiyoko, there must be some reasoning behind that. What's your issue with Kiyoko? Can't you just leave her alone? I'm gonna save again. Oh, whoops. Hold on. I can't help but raise my voice. Talking to her calmly will be harder than I thought, given my perceptions. Yeah. Alright, I thought I was gonna be able to make a choice. But that's alright. I can't go as far as accusing her of bullying Kiyoko, but defending a girl I now consider my friend is a natural thing to do. A week ago, I wouldn't have imagined myself in a situation like this. The feelings I had then have long since fleeted. For once, I can consider myself to have a place here, within the science club, even without knowing where that place is in relation to the world around me. I can't just stand by and accept this.
I don't have an issue with her. You wouldn't understand.
As Naomi begins to speak, I return her expression of melancholy with a pensive one of my own.
You think there's something going on between us, don't you?
Definitely. Oh, she's smarter than she looks.
You wouldn't be wrong, but it's not what you think. Then again, I doubt if you can think.
Hey, it's like she's trying to piss me off and quell my anger at the same time. Whether I can believe what she's saying, I don't know. I've solidified my stance enough not to trust her words that easily.
Clearly, you've gotten yourself involved into this now. You want to know the truth, right?
What is the truth? By that, you're saying you're willing to tell me.
Of course I am, dumbass! Otherwise, you'd just think I'm bullying Kiyoko or something.
What with all the insults, she doesn't make her case any more believable. So, what is it?
It's hard to explain. If you want to know, meet me here tomorrow after I've had some time to think.
I really thought I was finally gonna... Okay.
But you'd have to skip the science club for that, wouldn't you?
Fuck! Standing there with a smug grin plastered across her face, I can't help but dislike her a little more than I already do. Disregarding the insults and rudeness, she does seem to be acting somewhat sincerely. Given that if I object, she probably won't tell me again. Maybe hearing her out wouldn't be a waste of my time. On the other hand, abandoning Kiyoko slightly like that wouldn't make the situation any better. And upsetting her would just make me feel bad. Oh, okay. So do we just say, no, I'm going to the science club, or do we agree and we want to hear what Naomi has to say? You know what? Like I said, Jeongin here actually is determined to hear what's going on. So you know what? We will agree. You can just say something came up, Kiyoko, and I won't be there tomorrow. My bad. Alright. I'm doing it. Looking on at me, awaiting my response. Naomi's eyes make contact with mine. Their stern look tells me she doesn't exactly plan to give me a chance like this again. There must be something she wants to say. Leaving Kiyoko alone is just a fact I'll have to put up with if I want an answer to the thoughts I have within me. I'm sure she'll understand if I come up with a reasonable excuse. Passing the opportunity to see the story from Naomi's perspective isn't something that I'd like to do, given that she's willing to talk. Finding out what her issues with Kiyoko are is my priority, even if I don't particularly like her attitude. Fine, if it's not what I think, you must have had a reason to stop me like this.
I'm glad you understand.
From sternness to serenity, Naomi's expression changes to a more welcoming one. It's something which looks untrustworthy at least.
Somebody needs to. Anyway, I'll be waiting here again tomorrow. I'll be skipping training too, so don't feel too bad.
Since she's the team captain, I don't think anyone can berate her for skipping.
I don't want you to back out on this.
The qualms of leaving Kiyoko behind still linger in my mind, but I guess I made up my choice. The issue of Naomi's involvement with her has been bugging me the last few days. To have her openly decide to tell me, even after strangling me in the corridor, means that it's been bugging her too. The thoughts of her bullying Kiyoko seem to be less founded when reflecting on her actions. If it were the case, she wouldn't give me second thought. Perhaps she can explain herself after all, but could it just be that I'm in over my head? I should have realized it long ago.
Anyway, I'll be going now.
Oh, goodbye. I'm tired of seeing you is what I expected her to say. But alas, Naomi departs with nothing but a small yet significant wave.
Hey, what are you still doing here?
Uh-oh. Okay. What excuse is Jeongin gonna say? Like, is he gonna mix Marin and BS, or are we actually gonna tell her the truth? Like, oh, or just the simple something came up. A faint yet cheerful voice makes itself distinct behind me as I remain still in the schoolyard. Must have been standing for a while. Turning to face her, Kyoko's usual chirpy expression shines in the evening sunlight as wind rustles her silky flowing hair. I just felt a bit queasy and wanted a short rest.
Are you okay? It's been about 15 minutes.
I should be fine. Ending my sentence with a smile, she too curls her lips into one of reassurance.
Don't overdo yourself. You have to make it in tomorrow, right?
That's right. Her words make me reflect on my choices, which still fill me with doubt. Standing here with a bright smile across her face, Kiyoko is oblivious to my involvement in the situation around her. Sooner or later, the truth of the matter will be made manifest as our friendship continues. It's hard not to believe that Kiyoko too must be feeling it inside her. Her relation to Naomi is too apparent to ignore. My role in it, though, is unclear. But I can't help but feel as if I'm now a part of it.
It's getting pretty late.
She's not wrong, but acknowledging the time is just an easier thing than directly suggesting we should go. I'll see you tomorrow, Kiyoko.
Goodbye. Have a great evening.
I'm not planning on doing much, but her warmth doesn't fall on deaf ears.
Bye, have a great time.
With a mutual set of smiles and parting ways, we head home beneath the evening sunlight in opposite directions. Another day finished. I'll have to think about it all later. So, wait. Mr. Jeongin, you still haven't told her yet? Oh my god. Alright, bro, if you don't tell her before then, I'm coming through the screen and I'm going to murder you.